Hello VC, what's going on? It's me, Will, and I'm back with a new video. And this one's gonna be one of my regular or monthly vinyl update videos. So first I'm gonna show you some of the, or just a couple of new releases that I just got in the mail. Some of them from pre-orders. And then later in the video I'm gonna do quick vinyl or thrift store vinyl finds, which is something that I have not done in a very long time. Mainly because I haven't really gone thrifting that much during the pandemic, but lately I have been going to the thrift stores a little bit more often now, and most of these finds that I'm going to show you later in the video are from a while ago. Most of them are from even before the pandemic even started. Yeah, anyways, let's go ahead and get started. Let's start off with the new releases. Like I said before, some of them are pre-orders. These first two are brand new releases from 2021. This first one is from Cloud Nothings, and this one's called The Shadow I Remember, and it just came out a couple of months ago and on Car Park Records. Huge fan of Cloud Nothings, indie rock band, fairly new as well. I think they've been around for only like less than 10 years. But they've been really on a roll with their records. The last few albums were excellent. I think the last one came out last year, was really good. This one is no exception. It's excellent indie rock, very catchy. So yeah, indie rock, but it definitely has a lot of influences from punk rock bands. You can definitely hear that kind of sound in their music. And I ordered this one from Rough Trade Records out of New York City, mainly because they had this this color variant that I did not see in their website, or maybe I was too late to get it. Really cool looking gray and white splattered vinyl with the custom labels. And yeah, this band again is on a roll. Great new record from Cloud Nothings. Very fun band to see live if you ever get a chance once live music comes back eventually, hopefully. I've seen this band live a couple of times before and they always bring it. Great band to see live. And if you eventually ever get a chance to see Cloud Nothings live, take a look at the drummer because he is insane. I don't know how he manages to play like that, but he's so fast. Very fun band to see live. Again, this is Cloud Nothings with their newest album, The Shadow I Remember. Alright, so up next I got the newest record from Mikey. And this one is the self-titled record. Came out just a few months ago in 2021 on Rad Girlfriend Records. And I pre-ordered this one from the Rad Girlfriend Records website. And I got a couple of stickers with my order from Rad Girlfriend. Really cool looking. This one's really cool because it has kind of like a mirror effect. That's always nice to have. And yeah, the newest record from Mikey. When I pre-ordered this one, I actually missed out on the color variants of the vinyl, so I ended up getting just the standard black vinyl with the Rad Girlfriend labels. And actually, I'm kind of glad that I ended up getting this one on black vinyl because the cover art on this one, they made it look like the old self-titled album from The Clash. So I think it kind of looks better on black vinyl. It kind of goes better with the old school style of the artwork compared to the crazy color variants that they have nowadays with new releases. Anyways, a great new record from Mikey. In case you're not familiar with his music, Mikey used to be in a band, or he used to be the drummer and occasional singer for the band The Ergs, which is a fantastic, excellent pop-punk band from the early 2000s. In case you haven't checked them out, go ahead and do it because the Ergs were excellent back in the day. The Ergs broke up a while ago and then Mikey went solo. And he also plays drums for some other bands like Warriors, especially punk rock bands out there. but he's also releasing original material from his solo project, and this record is really good. In case you're into pop punk music, check out this record. He has 2 cover songs in this record. I usually don't like it when bands do that, when they include too many covers on their new records. But in this one, I think is the exception, mainly because the 2 bands that are covered in this record were obviously very influential in Mikey Eric's music. One of them is Spin the Black Circle by Pearl Jam, and the second one is Going to Pasalacqua by Green Day. 2 bands that were hugely influential in the music from Mikey Erg and this album in particular. So yeah, this record sounds very much like the old music from the Ergs from the early 2000s. Fast-paced, very melodic and very catchy pop punk, and very short record as well. Only 10 songs in this full album. The only song that I didn't like about this record was the very last one. It's one called Give Up. I thought that song just sounds a little bit too improvised. It sounds something like they tried to improvise something in the studio real quick before the end of the studio session. I would have changed that one with another track, but anyways, this is still a solid pop punk record. Check it out, Mikey Erg with his solo record from Red Girlfriend Records. Alright, up next, this one is another solo record. This one is Brian Fallon with Local Honey. And this one came out last year in 2020 on Lesser Known Records. And this is actually not from, this record's not mine. This actually came from my wife's collection. She's a huge fan of the Gaslight Anthem. And Brian Fallon is the singer and guitar player of Gaslight Anthem. So she got this record. And it's still pretty good, a really good record from Brian Fallon. I'm a big fan of his as well. I think I like the previous record that came out by him as a solo artist a little bit better than this one, but this one's still pretty good as well. Very inspired and very reminiscent of the music of Bruce Springsteen, so very acoustic kind of sound. But yeah, a great record from Brian Fallon in case you haven't checked it out. Again, this one's called Local Honey. Alright, and that's it for the new releases, or at least from the last couple of years. And up next, I'm going to do a quick, I'm going to show you some records that I've been finding at the thrift stores lately. And before I show you the records, just a quick disclaimer. I go to thrift stores a lot, or I used to at least before the pandemic. And most of the times, I would say maybe 99% of the times, I don't find anything good in the vinyl section. But I still go a lot. It's a big hobby for me. Not to just pick up records, but also I'm a collector of old cameras and Polaroid cameras and camcorders and things like that. So I go there often. I go multiple times, sometimes during a single day. But yeah, I haven't been in a long time since the pandemic started, but I'm recently starting to go back again into thrift stores, and hopefully in the near future I'll be finding some more cool records at the thrift stores. But yeah, that being said, these are some of the records that I've been picking up in the last few years, because some of these ones were picked up before the lockdowns. First, The Doors with LA Woman. And I had a copy of this one before, which I actually also found at the thrift store. I just picked up this copy again because my old copy was completely beat up as far as the cover. It was just in really bad condition. This one was in pretty good condition. As far as the cover art and the insert, they were pretty good. But the record itself, from the newest find, was horrible. It was so scratched out. I didn't even try to play it because I could see that it was just so scratched out. I ended up just throwing away that copy. It was kind of weird because it looked like somebody or the previous owner had intentionally scratched some sections of the grooves of the vinyl. Maybe some songs that he didn't like. I don't know. But I ended up doing like a Frankenstein kind of thing with my old copy. So I kept the cover from the new find, and I kept the record from the old copy that I had. So now I have a record with a vinyl in good condition, and the cover with also good condition as well, or I guess in decent condition compared to the other one. But yeah, that was a really good find because it's actually one of my favorite Doors records. Speaking of the Doors, I think I found this one at the same thrift store. Probably from the same owner or from the same previous owner. This one's the Doors with Waiting for the Sun. And this one came out in 1968 on Elektra Records. Great record from the Doors. I was not too familiar with this one, even though I do like the music from the Doors. And this one came out with a cool gatefold, which has some artwork and lyrics for a track called "The Celebration of the Lizard," which I just recently learned. The Celebration of the Lizard used to be, or was supposed to be, a track that was supposed to be included in side 2 of this record. Originally, it was like a 17-minute spoken word and music track that was very experimental. And they ended up changing their minds at the last minute, and they ended up putting some other tracks in side 2, which is kind of bad because I went online, I went to Spotify to listen to that song, "The Celebration of the Lizard," and it was great. I thought it was experimental. It was not radio friendly at all, but it was still a really good track. So I wish they had included that song as part of side B in this record. But either way, a solid album with the other songs that they included. The album was in really good condition as far as the vinyl and with the Elektra labels. So a really good find. Glad to add it to my Doors collection. Alright, up next, this one was a crazy find. I did not know how I was able to find this one. I must have got really lucky that day at the thrift store. But this one is the Beatles' White Album. And this one is from 1968 on Apple Records. This one is not an original. This one is an early repress, I think, from the 60s. I don't really know exactly when it came out. I went to Discogs, but there's just so many copies or so many releases of this album that it's hard to tell which one is which. But I guess you kind of can tell because of the numbered edition right here. This one has a dot right there. I'm not sure what it represents, but I got the numbered edition number 600,214, which I didn't realize they had so many numbered editions or copies of this record. But yeah, the packaging was in okay condition, I would say. A little bit beat up here around the edges, but it was okay otherwise. But what was cool about this one, what makes this one such a great find, was that it came with all the original inserts. And as you can see, they're falling apart right now because the part of the gatefold is kind of broken like this. So it's kind of hard to keep things together. But the gatefold is full with all the pictures and all the inserts as well. Let's see. Here's the poster, the original poster. It doesn't look like anybody actually hung this poster in their room, but it is kind of cut right here in the center. But still, you can see everything, including the lyrics. Huge poster. It also came in with blank page. I'm not sure what this is for, or if it came with the original one. And it came in with all the pictures of the band as well. There's Paul, and all of them in really good condition. John, George, and Ringo. So yeah, all the original material on this one. Really cool. And then the records themselves were in, I would say, VG plus condition, I would say. A double record with the Apple labels. And I gotta say, I was not too familiar with this record before I picked it up at the thrift store. I know it sounds crazy for a lot of the Beatles fans out there, but I knew the hits from the record, but I did not know, I have not listened to the full album as from front to back ever until I got this one, and I do like it. I love this record, but I wasn't too sure about the what's the very experimental sounding song in this record, Revolution Number 9, I think that's what it's called. It's on the last side of the last album, or the second album, or the second LP. Yeah, I think it's Revolution 9. I wasn't too sure about that one. You can definitely tell that song was very influenced by Yoko Ono. I'm not sure, but I did not like that one very much. And my favorite in this one was actually the very fun track on the record. And I love the Beatles when they sing when they play very fun songs, something that's fun for them, that they don't take themselves very seriously. And that's the song called Rocky Raccoon. I love that track. Very fun record from the Beatles, and very glad to add it to my Beatles collection, which is slowly growing. I did not have many records by the Beatles on vinyl, but I'm starting to get there with the records. Next, another Beatles find from the thrift store, probably also from the same owner, or the same previous owner. This one's Sgt. Pepper, or Sgt. Pepper Lonely Hearts Club Band. This record needs no introduction. From 1967 on Capitol Records. This one was a little bit in worse shape compared to the White Album that I got. This one came in with gatefold. Again, I'm not sure if this one is an original copy or not. It's really hard to tell based on Discogs, and to me all of them look the same when I go online. It's hard for me to figure out if it's an original press or not. Most likely it's an early repress. That's okay with me. The record is in really good condition, plays great with the Capitol labels. And yeah, again, this one needs no description, no introduction. I don't think it came in with any inserts. Great record by the Beatles. Again, another record that I was not too familiar with, even though I do have a copy of this one on CD. I just haven't listened to it very much, at least lately. But yeah, this one is one of my favorites, if not my favorite Beatles record. Excellent from front to back. Not much to say about this one, the Beatles with Sgt. Pepper. And one thing that I didn't know, and I guess never really noticed out of the cover art, is they included the wax sculptures of the Beatles there that came from, and I think they explain it here in the back. They came from Madame Tussauds museum, the wax sculpture museum. I never really realized that until I saw that in the credits, and I looked at the picture, and I never realized how creepy the picture of the wax figures look there of the Beatles. I always thought that was kind of interesting. But anyways, another great Beatles find. Alright, just a couple more for my vinyl finds. From the thrift store, Steely Dan with Gaucho. And this one came out in 1980 on MCA Records. This is my favorite Steely Dan record, so I'm glad to add it to my collection. Not much to say, classic rock at its finest in my opinion. And I'm supposed to see Steely Dan live for the first time, hopefully in August. So hopefully things are still going good with coronavirus, and that concert does not get canceled, because it was already canceled once from last year. But yeah, my favorite from Steely Dan. And then in that same store I found a copy of Steely Dan's Greatest Hits, double LP set. And this one came out in 1978 on ABC Records. And it has songs from the first 6 Steely Dan albums, which I did not own any of those, so I was glad to add or to get a compilation record, because I'm probably not gonna try to get those ones anyways. But yeah, a solid compilation. The cover for this one was in completely bad shape. It had some water damage. Whoever had this record in the past did not take care of this one very well. So the cover or the packaging was in terrible shape. It was so bad that I ended up just taking the whole thing out. I think it had like a gatefold in this one. I took the whole thing out. The only thing that was in decent shape was the very front of the packaging. So I just kept that. But the records were in really good condition. I don't think they were played very much at all. Double LP, and black vinyl with I guess the MCA Records labels. But anyways, that's it for my video. Hopefully that didn't take too long, but just catching up with my finds and some thrift store finds as well. Hope you enjoyed that. I still need to catch up with some of your videos out there in the VC. I'll be doing that in the next few days. I hope everybody's doing well, staying safe, staying healthy. Take care, and see you next time. Bye-bye.